Let's kick things off with a real talk question. What's stopping you from being the best version of yourself? Is it fear of failing? Not knowing where to start? Or maybe you're just stuck in your head, overthinking everything? I've been there, and I bet a lot of you have too. Today we're diving into something game-changing, the discovery of the self. It's not some fluffy, feel-good buzzword. It's your secret weapon for success. Whether you're a startup founder hustling to build your empire, a student trying to figure out your path, or someone grinding at a 9-to-5, understanding who you are is the key to crushing it. Hey, ThriveBit fam. Yo, what's good? I'm Andy, and welcome to another episode of ThriveBit by Andy, your go-to YouTube podcast for business hacks, personal growth, and that extra push to level up your life. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and let's dive into this journey together. You're not just watching a video, you're investing in your future. So, buckle up, because we're about to unpack how to find yourself through action, why preparation alone isn't enough, and how even your failures are just data points to make you better. Let's get into it. Why do you think you know yourself? Let's start with a hard truth. Most of us think we know ourselves, but we don't. Not really. You might say, "Oh, I know I'm passionate about this," or "I'm just not a morning person." But how much of that is actually true, and how much is just a story you've told yourself? The discovery of the self isn't about sitting in a corner, journaling your feelings, though that's cool too. It's about getting out there, taking action, and letting life show you who you are. Think about it. When you were a kid, you didn't read a book to figure out you loved soccer or hated broccoli. You kicked a ball around or took a bite and spit it out. That's how you learned. So why do we grow up and think we can figure out our passions or purpose just by thinking? Spoiler alert. You can't. The real you shows up when you're in the game, not on the sidelines. Here's the deal. The discovery of the self happens when you combine preparation with action. You need a bit of both, like coffee and creamer. Too much thinking without doing, you're stuck in analysis paralysis. Too much doing without thinking, you're just running in circles. Let's break down how to balance these two and unlock your potential. How can preparation set you up without holding you back? First up, preparation. I know, planning sounds boring, like something your high school teacher nagged you about, but hear me out. Preparation is like packing for a road trip. You need a map, some snacks, maybe a playlist, but you don't need to know every gas station you'll stop at. Overplan, and you'll never hit the road. Underplan, and you're stranded with no gas. Let's say you're dreaming of starting a side hustle, like a coffee shop. You're hyped. You're pinning latte art on Pinterest, but you haven't poured a single shot of espresso. Step 1. Do your homework. Take a weekend course on coffee brewing. Watch YouTube tutorials on small business accounting. Learn the basics of marketing, maybe how to make your Instagram pop. That's your preparation. It's not about being perfect, it's about having enough tools in your toolbox to start building. But here's the trap. Some of you will get stuck here. You'll think, I'll start my coffee shop when I've got the perfect logo, the perfect location, and a PhD in espresso. Nope. Preparation is just the warm-up. The real magic happens when you step into the game. You've got to open that shop, serve that first latte, and deal with the chaos of a customer saying it's too bitter. That's where you learn who you are and what you're capable of. What happens when you actually do the thing? All right, let's talk about action. The heart of discovery of the self for entrepreneurs, students, or anyone chasing big dreams. Action is where you find out what you're made of. It's messy, it's scary, but it's also where the good stuff happens. Let's stick with our coffee shop example. You've done your prep, you've got your basics down, and now you're open for business. Day 1, you burn a batch of beans. Day 2, a customer complains your cappuccino foam is flat. By day 10, you're wondering why you thought this was a good idea. Sound familiar? That's not failure, that's data. Every burnt bean, every grumpy customer is teaching you something. Maybe you realize you love tweaking recipes but hate dealing with suppliers. Or you figure out you're a morning person after all because you're buzzing at 6 a.m. pulling shots. That's the beauty of action. It's like a mirror showing you who you really are. You can't get that clarity from a vision board or a self-help book. You've got to get your hands dirty. And the more you do, the more you understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and what lights you up inside. Here's a quick story. My buddy Jake wanted to start a podcast. Sound familiar? He spent months researching mics, editing software, all the techie stuff. But he kept delaying because he wanted it to be perfect. Finally, I told him, Jake, just record something. Anything. He did, and it was rough. Bad audio, awkward pauses. But he learned he loved storytelling, and he hated editing. That pushed him to focus on content creation and outsource the tech stuff. If he hadn't hit record, he'd still be stuck dreaming. Action showed him his path. Can failure really be your best teacher? Now, let's talk about the F word. Failure. I know it stings, but failure is not the end. It's just feedback. In fact, it's one of the best tools for discovery of the self. When you fail, you get raw, unfiltered data about what works, what doesn't, and who you are under pressure. Back to our coffee shop. Let's say your first month is a flop, hardly any customers, and your lattes aren't selling. Most people would quit, thinking, I'm not cut out for this. But here's where resilience comes in. Instead of shutting down, you ask questions. You text a few customers. Hey, what didn't you like about the coffee? Maybe they say it's too pricey or the vibe isn't cozy enough. Boom, you've got data. You lower prices, add some comfy chairs, maybe throw in a loyalty card. Suddenly, customers are coming back. That's what learning by doing looks like. Every failure is a clue about the market, your customers, and yourself. Maybe you realize you're great at connecting with people, but terrible at inventory management. Cool. Hire someone for that and focus on what you love. Failure isn't a stop sign. It's a detour to a better path. Here's another example. Say you're a student and you're hyped about learning graphic design. You take an online course, watch all the videos, but your first designs, they're trash. Like Comic Sans level bad. Instead of giving up, you post your work online, ask for feedback, and keep tweaking. You learn you've got an eye for color but struggle with typography, so you double down on studying fonts. That's discovery of the self, finding your strengths and weaknesses through action, not just thinking. How do you keep growing through self-discovery? So how do you make discovery of the self a habit, not just a one-time thing? It's about building a mindset that's open to learning, adapting, and growing. Here are a few practical tips to keep you on track. First, set small, actionable goals. Don't say, I'm going to be a billionaire by 30. Start with, I'm going to learn one new skill this month. Maybe it's coding, public speaking, or even baking sourdough. Small wins build confidence and give you data about what you love. Second, embrace feedback like it's gold. Whether it's a customer saying your product sucks or a friend pointing out you're always late, feedback is a gift. It's not personal. It's information to make you better. Ask questions, listen, and adjust. Third, reflect on your experiences. After you try something new, whether it's launching a side hustle or taking a dance class, ask yourself, what did I learn about myself? Did I enjoy it? What sucked? Reflection turns random experiences into insights about who you are. Finally, don't fear the mess. Life is messy, and so is self-awareness. You're gonna make mistakes, feel dumb, maybe even cry a little. That's okay. Every stumble is a step toward understanding yourself and the world. What's your next step to discover yourself? All right, ThriveBit fam, let's wrap this up. The discovery of the self isn't some mystical quest. It's about preparing smart, taking action, and learning from every win and loss. Whether you're starting a business, chasing a new career, or just trying to figure out what makes you tick, the answer lies in doing. Not thinking, not planning forever, doing. So here's my challenge to you. This week, try one thing you've been overthinking. Maybe it's pitching that business idea, signing up for a class, or even asking for feedback on a project. Take one small step, see what happens, and pay attention to what it teaches you about yourself. That's how you unlock your secret weapon for success. Yo, I'm so pumped you're here with me on this journey. If this hit home for you, drop a comment below. Tell me one thing you've learned about yourself lately. And if you're loving these personal growth and entrepreneurship vibes, hit that like button, share this with a friend, and subscribe to ThriveBit by Andy for more. Let's keep leveling up together. Catch you in the next episode.